Suprasegmental features. Suprasegmental features are very, very important to be understood by phoneticians and phonologists. Phonologists are concerned with suprasegmental features because when they are to describe the sound system of a language, since language is a sound system, then they are also required to determine many features of that language suprasegmentally, right? Supra, beyond, above. Supra means beyond and above. And segmental, like above segment, above those, sound level. So suprasegmental features which are applied above segmental level. And do you know what are segments? By now, I'm sure that you know that segments are the units, the speech units. When a language is a sound system, a segment is the basic unit of that sound system. Segment is a sound. And technically speaking, a segment is a phoneme, right? A segment is a phoneme. Like, for example, speech segments are vowels and consonants. In any language, the number of vowels and the number of consonants are together. They are the segments of that language, basic segments, because those segments are used in order to use that language as a speech system, right, as a sound system. I'm giving you examples from English, like P is a consonant, P, B, T, F, V, M, and many more. These are some examples, okay? So these are segments. These are sounds. And from vowels, like A, U, E, 3 vowels I'm given here, right? So these are basically the vowel sounds, right? So consonants and vowels, right? So these are the segments of a language and basic units, right? These basic units, actually, they are used to form syllables. Syllable is a unit of phonology above segment, right? Because segments, they are put into one step above hierarchy. If you use just the hierarchic structure of language, right? Because language is a hierarchic structure all the time. Same is the case with syntax and morphology and also in phonology. So segments together, they make syllable, and syllables together, they make foot, and foots together, they may be, using phonological phrases, and at the top level, there would be utterance, right? There would be utterance and phonological utterance, right? Utterance within phonology is, stretch of speech, right? Which is separated with the silence, okay? So that is called utterance. So utterance is further divided into, phrases, and phrases are further divided into, feet, and then a foot is further divided into syllable, and a syllable is comprised of segments. So segment is the primary unit or the basic unit, right? Although segment can also be further divided into features, but right now we are concerned with segments or sounds, and we would talk about sounds, right? So basic unit, which is used for the formation of syllable and utterances, these are segments. You see there is one word, put, P, O, and T, put. And it is like, first is P is a consonant, then O is a vowel, and then T is a consonant, right? There is a word given, okay? Minimization. And you see that how it is just distributed into segments. M is a consonant, and then A is a vowel, right? And then N is a consonant, and that is also, a vowel, right? And then my, right? So this is, again, consonant and vowel. Then Z, consonant and vowel, a diphthong, right? This is a diphthong, Z, and then consonant and vowel, right? So shun, so consonant, vowel, and consonant. This is one word which is made of various syllables. These are syllables. Syllable 1, syllable 2, syllable 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 syllables within this word, right? But this is one word, right? Now, the important thing is, which is suprasegmental here, that out of these 5 syllables, only one syllable is prominent, Z. And this is very much realized in spoken language. Minimization right? So you are supposed to make, and this is the tradition of language, that you are supposed to make one syllable prominent, right? To stress one syllable. And this is zay in this case, zation. So this is one example of suprasegmental features. Another example is pitch variation, because pitch is also important, and you know that pitch is basically the change in vibration of the vocal cords, right? In the glottis, right? So that is pitch variation. And we have also some other features, suprasegmental features, like frequency and intonation, when the difference in frequency, and difference in frequency simply, it means that the number of cycles completed by a speech, sound, right? That how many cycles are completed, right? The opening and the closing of the glottis, basically from there those waves are formed, and then that is required feature. We need to know that at what rate is those cycles completed, right? So that completion of cycles, like on the basis of seconds, for example, that how many cycles are completed, that is the frequency. So we also need to know that what's the frequency of the sound. And similarly, we are also concerned with intonation at times. When the pitch variation at word level, when it is applied at sentence level, then it becomes intonation, right? So these are the examples of suprasegmental features. We would be discussing them in detail later in this course. But suprasegmental features are the features which are imposed on syllable, at syllable level, above then segment. That's an important point, that these features are imposed, these are applied above segment level, okay? Like variation in pitch and length and stress. Some syllable may be unstressed, and one within a word may be primarily stressed, right? So that is stress. And these suprasegmental features, they have grammatical function, and they have also emphatic function. Emphatic, like in order to emphasize one word within a sentence, we need to highlight one word. So for that purpose, we may be using intonation, all right? So the function may be grammatical, because we can make a word which is noun, we can make it a verb on the basis of stress, right? A bisyllabic word. And similarly, within a sentence, we want to focus on one word. So that focus is created on the basis of stress, all right? So therefore, we need to know these suprasegmental features. And these suprasegmental features also give additional information. Very importantly, we can know about the age of a speaker, the sex of a speaker. Like from the age, we may know that the person is a child or a grown-up person, right? Or we can also know from the suprasegmental features that whether the person is a male or a female, the speaker, right? And then we can also know about the emotional state of the person from the suprasegmental feature, right? Like what's the emotional state of that person? Is the person angry or relaxed or happy or, disappointed? That's very much visible from the suprasegmental feature. And we can also just have an idea about the attitude of the person, right? That the attitude is, friendly or not cooperating. Like these information is given from suprasegmental features, right? So one example which I would like to give you here is from stress, because there are many suprasegmental features. We cannot cover them in one topic. So I would talk about stress here. In multisyllabic word, one syllable is, made prominent. One syllable is stressed. And the example which I just gave you, the minimization. So only the zay, the second last syllable is stressed here, right? So one syllable is prominent, and that is called stress. It is important for correct pronunciation. Like when you are to say photography, you cannot say photography, right? So there is, one very important role of this stress within English pronunciation. And then the grammatical function is also there. Like you can just turn a noun into a verb just by replacing the stress. I can give you one example, like insult, right? So insult, when the stress is on the second syllable, insult, right? So that's a verb. And if I'm just to make it a noun, insult, right? So now the stress is on the first syllable. So that is also there. And also for emphasis, there is one sentence written, I asked for 2 large coffees to go, right? So this is a sentence. And we can emphasize on to. Like, for example, if it's a complaint in a coffee shop, the person he asked for 2 cups and he is given 1. So if he's complaining, he would say, I asked for 2 large coffees to go. So why did you give me 1? Right? Similarly, we can shift this emphasis from 2 to large. That the person, maybe he asked for 2 large cups, but he was given small. So the emphasis may be shifted from, I asked for 2 large coffees to go. Right? And it may be also shifted to coffees. I asked for 2 large coffees to go. Right? So similarly, this emphasis can be shifted from the the required objective of the person, that what the speaker wants to say. And there is example for the suprasegmental features, and you can have an idea that how this stress is useful. Okay, photograph. This is a word which has 3 syllables, but the first one is made prominent, right? It is on the first one, right? Photograph, right? Then photographer. Photographer, 1, 2, 3, 4. The second one is made prominent. The second one is stressed, right? Similarly, the last word, photographic. Photographic, the second last one is stressed. And this is, something which is really important for the pronunciation of English. And this stress also has the function of grammaticality and also emphasis.